Anthony Joshua will be fighting Jake Paul in about a month. And look, I'm not really going to predict a winner. I think it's kind of obvious who's going to win, or at least projected to win. What I am going to talk about here is first thing, I do want to give Jake Paul props. A lot of people like to talk down to him and say, well, you're only fighting non fighters, and the fighters you do fight are retired MMA fighters that are wrestlers, and they're small and they're old. And it's like, what is this guy supposed to do? I mean, legitimately, most legit fighters that are his size are not going to take up the chance to potentially lose to a newbie. He doesn't have that many options. You know, it's not like he can just pick anybody to fight. And now he gets a big fight with Anthony Joshua, heavyweight, athletic guy. You know, he's not one of these obese heavyweights. He's an athletic, muscular, long, tall heavyweight with a lot more experience than Jake. And now people are still complaining. But the real topic of this video is to discuss the ridiculousness between the quote-unquote rigged sports. And that is that the fact that there are going to be a lot of people, if somehow Jake Paul were to win, which I don't really think it's all that likely, but I mean, crazier things have happened. Plus 770, it's like obviously people aren't giving him much hope. But if somehow Jake Paul were to win, go the distance, drop Joshua one, I mean anything, any positive for Jake Paul, people will claim it's rigged. And I'm not totally discounting that. Look, in boxing, it's hypothetically possible for the event to be rigged. Unlike in the NFL or the NBA, where it's you can't really coordinate with everybody and the referees, and it's just too difficult. But in boxing, you definitely could. You could take a fall. My issue with the claims that Jake Paul rigs all of his fights. Well, my question is, why aren't you betting on it? And Jake Paul said something similar to this. He's like, why aren't you rich? You can publicly bet on his fights. If you're the kind of person that claims that these fights are rigged, and previously he was getting minus 200, minus 300 odds, so you had to bet $100 to win 30, or I guess it'd be 130. But now you've got great odds. So if you really think that these fights are rigged, $100 you get 870 back. I see absolutely no reason why all of the people that are claiming rigged 24/7 are going to not gamble on this fight. It's like, look, if you've got insider information, and you can legally take advantage of that. Now, it's not like you're doing some shady stock trading. I'm saying if you have insider information that this fight is rigged and you know for a fact, so why aren't you making money on it? I mean, it legitimately doesn't make any sense. There are seriously people who have claimed, how many wins does Jake Paul have? What is he, 8-0-1? Something like that. I'm sure we can find it on here. Joshua is 28-25. Oh, Jake Paul is 12-1. Okay, so 7 KO wins, 12 wins. And it's just like, these people, he's won 12 of his fights, and after every fight, people say, oh, he rigged it, he rigged it, he rigged it. And it's like, okay, why haven't you just made money I mean, anybody, you could have $1 billion if you bet $1,000 and then parlay that money and you just kept betting it on Jake Paul. I mean, presumably you'd have unlimited money. Now, you can also bet on the total rounds, such as about going under 4.5. I'm not sure if that's even odds or not. They're not like even odds, as in they're both 50-50 action both ways. I would probably I'd probably say it lasts more than 4.5. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting.